that is creepy. Okay, so oh no, it's recording. Okay, well, we're gonna go with it. So, what just happened is I hadn't pressed the record button yet, but somehow it automatically there was a countdown thing going on. It said three, two, one, and then it started. So I'm gonna leave it, and we're gonna go with it. Hi everyone, how are you guys doing today? All right, so today we are going to talk about um, pulling the trigger. Yes. So, anyone who has been watching or following or seeing any Kefir of our videos, by the way, our channel is called Journeys, Me and My Hun, and Buble the Cat sometimes. So, I did finally, because I'm sure the few of you who might have watched or may have watched or might be watching might be wondering, well, where is this Buble the cat? So I keep feeling cat fur on me or something, hairs. Anyhow, I did mention in one of the videos that he hates being filmed, and so he will do the most adorablest things as long as there's no camera. But anyhow, I did have something from a little while back that we had taken of him when at my daughter's place. And so I thought, okay, let us at least introduce Buble the cat, excuse me, to everyone, as he is, one of the stars of the show, so to speak. Anywho, so I put on a short a couple of days back with Buble the cat. I think the caption read, so this is Buble the cat, if I can remember correctly. And then I also did one of my Hun, and this one is relatively recent. Again, any of you guys who have watched any of my videos would know that I have mentioned that my Hun is extremely shy and quiet. He is the exact opposite of me. We are yin and yang. We work beautifully in that way, in that I'm the loud, obnoxious one, and he is the very quiet, zen, very soft-spoken and shy one. So anyhow, I did, oh goodness, I hope, all right, hopefully you can hear me. Anyhow, I did have a recent video of my Hun where we had gotten a cat tree for Buble, and he had now sat down to, start assembling it. And I did, I can't remember why on that day, because at that time I hadn't even started a YouTube channel or anything yet. But sometimes I will, like in the past too, I will do random stuff like that, like just to capture a moment, so to speak. And that one was so cute because, he's on the floor and he's getting ready to assemble the cat tree. And I think I'm in there singing something in the background about my honey's putting together the cat tree, something like that. Anyhow, so you guys, if you want to see, not saying that Hun and Buble won't actually be on one of these longer type videos. It's just, it may take time and spontaneity, and, as time goes by. Yeah. So the two shorts are there to introduce you to my Hun, which is my husband Carl, and Buble the cat. Okay. Anyhow, enough on all of that. I wanted to talk today about pulling the trigger. And anyone that's new to the channel, hi, by the way, welcome, might be thinking, pulling the trigger, that sounds quite ominous. But no, it's nothing like that. So basically, I have expounded on a couple of prior videos. And by the way, when I say prior videos, we are very new to this, just started recently. I believe we have like about 10 videos on there, including the 2 shorts. So we've been doing this like 2.5 weeks now, maybe almost 3 weeks. So that's it. Not even a full month yet. But I did mention in the last video, we were having a really scary, intense, challenging time trying to figure out investing. Anyhow, I won't go into all of that on this video, but it is there, and maybe you guys, whoever's watching, could go and check that one out, and that will kind of then tie into what I'm going to say today and make sense to you guys. Like, what is she talking about? Okay. So basically, we were absolutely terrified, my husband and I. He's retired. I'm a semi-retired baker. And long story short, for the last 2 years, we've had our funds inside of a bank. And, I've been learning a lot and studying a lot about, trying to understand because we don't, these words like stocks and stock market and investing and portfolios and all this is like alien to us, or was anyways. And, one of the things I do have to say about that is that just because you've learned, or you have kind of studied up, and you're feeling like, okay, all right, so at least I understand now what they mean by an index fund or an ETF or all of that, it doesn't mean that in reality, when it comes time to it, that you can just pull the trigger, so to speak, as far as press those buttons and let your money work for you. But prior to that, the banks were doing all of that. And there came a point in time during the last couple of years where, and a lot of it, I have to thank YouTube for that, has a lot to do with YouTube and a lot of the content creators on there that have videos on finances and retirement funds and investing and all of that. And so anyhow, I happen to have watched a lot of videos. And so long story short, we started realizing that having our money in the bank was not going to stretch our dollars, so to speak, in retirement. And, it's not like if we're gazillionaires and, we can just say, oh, well, the money's going to last. I'm sure there's so many of you guys out there retired or getting ready to, or will soon retire, or have already retired. And, can relate to that a lot of the times the pensions or the 401ks or the retirement funds are not, especially in these times where people are, the lifespan is longer, people are living longer, they're taking care of their health more, et cetera, et cetera. It can be very scary. And so we started thinking we needed to take some sort of proactive action to ensure that my husband and I will be able to, live for the rest of our lives comfortably as humanly possible. So anyhow, pulling the trigger, that's today's topic. And by that, I mean that, previously we studied and learned and, to the best of our abilities and no one can ever know everything, there are experts out there that don't know about, all the investing strategies and whatnot. And of course, there's risks and all of that. But at the end of the day, in life, sometimes you do have to take risks so that you can grow, not just grow, but benefit or prosper, or, there's so many reasons, and I'll do that in another video. But for us, it was definitely, even though we had made up our minds that, we needed to do something more proactive and invest ourselves rather than have the funds in the bank, when it came down to it, like, we were honestly, it wasn't like we were procrastinating or lollygagging or, putting it off or anything like that. It was just sheer terror. like like the night before, we would say, okay, tomorrow we're going to do it, and we had managed to move the funds a few weeks back to from the bank to a brokerage firm, and there it sat. And every day, thank God, not for too long. Every day we would, the night before, we would say, okay, tomorrow, we're gonna do it, and we would have like um, notes that, all right, these are the buckets or the different diversified things that we're going to invest in. And so, another word, diversified, and that I learned on YouTube. So many things I learned on YouTube that we, like I said, never in a million years did we ever know or think about things like that. The schools don't teach you that. Your parents don't. They themselves don't know. And, we're very thankful and blessed in that to live in a time where a lot of everyday people like you and me can have access to something as I was going to say simple, but no, something as huge as investing. Because back in the day, you had to know someone to maybe introduce you to someone at a brokerage firm, et cetera, make an appointment, go down to the physical office. And then you had to have X amount of funds to be able to invest. And thankfully, in these times, we are, very grateful and thankful that we have the opportunity and the access and the platforms to be able, anyone, and, you can have $5, you can buy a partial share and, start investing. So, and I will expound more on that in my future videos, because I want to say to anyone and everyone who's never done it, thinking about doing it, or scared to do it, that life is short. You have to take risks sometimes to reap huge rewards and benefits later on. And it doesn't just, happen like that. Investing is not like picking a stock or, day trading or I know a lot of fancy terms now. When I'm saying things like that out loud, it's like, oh my goodness, it still catches me. Anyhow, so, it's not like gambling or betting, or no, it is, yes, you don't know, markets go up, markets go down, all of that good stuff. But if you don't take the risk, you'll never know. And there's a huge potential that by taking that risk, you could potentially be, let's say you had $10,000 and you just decided to keep it in a savings account in a bank and never take a risk. Then, yeah, sure, you might get like maybe 10 cents or a cent or whatever the interest rates are in a savings account. Maybe in a high yield savings account. I don't have a calculator here with me right now, but it might be a little bit more, maybe $100 or something, after a year or whatever the case may be. But if you take that risk and you invest that $10,000, then in 10 years time, 15, 20, that could, go blow up to thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars. So like I said, all of this is new to us too, but, we, as scary, and when I tell you scary, terrifying, because this is my husband's hard-earned money that he worked really, really hard for all his life. He was in the same company in Pennsylvania for almost 30 years before he took early retirement. And he took early retirement due to the fact, excuse me, again, this is a very personal topic, but, if it helps someone else, then I will share this, that he had suffered a couple of strokes and a couple of seizures, and he can talk and he can walk and all of that now, and in the past too, obviously, but those things had really started affecting him and slowing him down a lot in these last few years, especially, and men being men, it was a very embarrassing and private and personal topic for him. And he didn't want any of his co-workers or bosses or anyone to know that, especially after the second stroke that he had suffered, how difficult it had become for him just keeping up with his daily task at work. And when the opportunity presented itself for early retirement at age 59 and a half, he was so relieved and happy. He, of course, took it because that meant that he could um, leave work without anyone knowing what was happening to him, how hard it was, how challenging, that he was struggling really hard just to keep up with his daily task at work. And so, I mean, it's okay to speak about it now. But, while you're going through something, it is, a whole different kettle of fish. Anyhow, so, my husband retired, like I said, and it's not like a gazillion dollars, but whatever it is, we are so incredibly thankful and blessed. Thank you, God, for that. It's a start, at least. But if we don't do something proactive and take that risk to invest, and we just leave it in the bank, or just keep pulling from it to live off of for the rest of our lives, or even with Social Security combined, it will run out. About a few years down the line. And so, my husband, like I said, he has worked, pretty much all his life, and he has suffered the 2 strokes and the 2 seizures. And there was one point in there, and this is, really, really painful to talk about, but he was assaulted physically, beaten to within an inch of his life, and left unconscious on the sidewalk. And so the brain, trauma to his brain has been severe through not just the strokes, but that incident too. And anyhow, so thank God he's well and alive and healthy, and he can talk and walk and so on and so forth. Even though I do majority of, simple things, grocery ordering. If we don't drive, we don't have a car because he can't drive, especially recently he had a seizure. So we don't drive. He can't drive right now anyhow. And, we would order our groceries and whatnot online. And so I do, all of that kind of stuff, the womanly stuff. Anyhow, so if we, don't take that risk and don't take that chance to invest and just leave the money there, then it, like I said, in a few years, it even with Social Security, eventually it will run out, and that is a real fear. It is scary. It is real. And I'm sure there are many of you out there who can understand and relate to this situation. So, yes, you guys must be saying, all right, pulling the trigger, get to the point. Yes, I'm getting there. 2 days ago, after almost 6 months of, talking about it and planning and thinking about it, and almost well over a year of watching YouTube videos and trying to understand how money worked and how this investing thing worked, and so on and so forth. And then, even then, like I said, there were weeks and weeks in there prior where we would be sure that tomorrow would be, whatever that tomorrow day was in the past, that we would, go ahead and invest, press the buttons in the brokerage firm and do it. And then, you would get to that point, and then you would always keep thinking or feeling the need to maybe tweak things a little bit or learn a little bit more, because again, the sheer terror that, okay, once we hit those buttons, that's it. Well, I mean, it's not it, you could, of course, change things around and, whatever, but still, that was never the plan, to put something in and then to just pull it back out. It is long-term investing. It is staying the course, and God willing, building our retirement funds. So 2 days ago, finally, thank you God, we finally um, whatever was in the notes, it was like do or die time. It was like, okay, this is it. Yes, we could continue studying more and learning more and tweaking and changing up the diversification of the portfolio. And at the end of the day, all those days that are going by are days that we are. Here's another fancy phrase. Oh, goosies are flying overhead. So we have a oh gosh, I always get caught off topic, but they're goosies and they're they're we have geese. There's a golf course. I know, fine. It's really like you can see the golf course. Okay, there is a golf course not close to this apartment complex, and the pigeons and the geese that I guess live in the nearby neighborhoods. We're not sure exactly where. In the evenings, you'll see like a whole flock of them going overhead and landing over there, and they'll hang out there and do their thing. It's just so adorable. Anyways, I love animals. So I was saying that each day that went by that we weren't in the market was a day that our funds were just sitting in the brokerage firm, app, whatever company. And we, yes, again, we get it, there's going to be up days, down days, all of that. But at the end of the day, if we don't have the funds invested, they're not doing anything. They're just sitting there, right? So, and yes, that may be to a certain level, to a certain extent, safe, because, okay, it's not in the market, it's not going up and down, but it's also not, and here's another fancy term that investors use, building wealth. For our retirement future, for our no, I don't ever want to say no go days, but slower go days, because right now I'd like to consider ourselves in these golden years and in retirement and semi-retirement, our go-go years. And so this is where, again, if you've watched any of my channels and you're wondering, what does it mean, journeys, me and my hun? It basically, we are planning starting next year, March, when our lease ends here at this apartment in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. We are going to do the slow travel thing. Again, that's something we learned online as well from YouTube videos. And I cannot begin to thank the slow travelers and the retirement travelers and the just retired folks and people that are out there living their lives, traveling, seeing the world, and living off of a fraction of the funds compared to living here in the United States. And don't get me wrong, we absolutely love the United States. There, it is what it is. I am not here to do anything, political, but United States is a beautiful country, and there's the people of the United States are lovely. Of course, yeah, we have a lot of problems and issues, and but that is, yeah, that's that's for another time. And so we just want to, for lack of a better phrase, kill two birds at one stone. No one's killing any birds. No birds were harmed in the making of this video. But I'm sure many of you have heard that say, we're basically not only during our more active go-go years, next 10 years, or, et cetera, 7-10 years, not only can we explore and see the world and go different places and experience different cultures and lifestyles and whatnot, but do it at a fraction of the cost as opposed to if we were living here for the next 10 years, 7-10 years in America, and the money would go a lot faster. So it's, like I said, it's a win-win. It's a 2-in-1. And yeah, so that's why it's called Journeys, in case anyone's wondering. Okay, of course, I strayed from the topic. I do that a lot. That will continue happening in the future. I can't help myself. That's just me. I get distracted very easily with a second or third or fourth thought that comes to me at any given time. Anyhow, so what was I saying? Oh, pulling the trigger, right? So we pulled the trigger. We pulled the trigger. Yay. So thank you, God, for giving us the courage and the forbearance and the inspiration, motivation to do it and to get it done. And so the deed has been accomplished. And I just wanted to let anyone know that may have come back and watch the second video of ours. Maybe this is the second time you guys watching us, to give you that update that yes, we did it. We have passed that stage of utter terror. The video, by the way, in case anyone wants to check it out, it's titled, the thumbnail says, ooh, and I made thumbnails too. It's all a learning process. It says, what does it say? It says, investing is scary. Is it for retirees or in retirement? Something like that. Yeah. So, in there, I expounded more on the fears and the terrors and the journey to, that portion of our life in the last couple of years after my husband retired, and then the funds being in the bank, and oh yes, and the horrible mistakes we made because we knew nothing about taxes and all of that, and just moving the funds from his 401k to the bank. Yeah. Anyways, all the shame is there. You can go check it out. Okay. So this one is not going to be a long one. I just wanted to give an update. And let you guys know if there's anyone returning to the channel, if you're new to the channel, that we did pull the trigger. We got the deed done. We got the funds invested. And so now, time will tell. All right. But in the meantime, I also wanted to say that when we say journeys, me and my that's me and my husband, Carl. By the way, my name is Shanaz. Hi. And when we say journeys, basically, we are going to share with you guys from when we started, like, 2.5 weeks ago, approximately, just our day-to-day, every day, what's going on in our lives, but from the aspect of retirement or just human being or people, Americans, just everything. So I'm doing this in the hopes that first of all, I wanted to do it because I started feeling, after watching so many videos on YouTube, with whether it was people our age, retirees, a bit younger, older, all folks, sharing, their experiences, or whether it's something as simple as which hotel to stay on when you're overseas, or what airline to fly with, or what's the best way to do this, or just so many different things: finances, money, health, fitness, traveling, retire, just that whole scope for people in our age. I am 56 years old. My husband is 61. And life, how it affects us, how we live every day, etc., etc. And so basically, so far I've been, because it's so new and I'm still getting adjusted to, and again, if you want to see real walk of shame stuff, check some of the other videos out where I actually did one with no volume. There's no volume. I'm just sitting there talking. But yes, you're wondering, well, why did you post it? Well, I worked hard on it. So I was like, you know what? I'm posting it anyways. And then I made this funny thumbnail that says, I made an entire video without any volume. Yeah. Anyhow, so the last how much ever it's been, counting the two shorts too that I posted with um, of Buble and the Buble the cat and my husband, my hun. Um, there was also one accidental short that went on there. I don't know how that happened. Again, I'm not very tech savvy, but it was of me in the initial stages of a couple of weeks back when I first started doing a test after that fiasco happened with the um, no volume video. So from then, I was extra cautious, always checking on this, the microphone thing and the little receiver thing that's plugged into the phone. And so I was doing that, and I was saying testing, testing, and I think I said something like, "It better be working." And somehow that ended up in shorts. So that was, again, I am not tech savvy, very new at this. I am picking up, or I'm still and will be. I pick up tidbits from YouTube videos that I watch of so many different people and so many different channels. And so, yeah, so there's a short of me, doing testing, and saying it better be working. Okay. Anyhow, so what was I talking about? Yeah, yes, this is what I was saying. I've been sitting and doing most of these videos so far in our bedroom, in here, and I call it the studio, or my studio, our studio. And because I want to first get accustomed to and acclimatized to and comfortable with simple things like, the microphone working, the volume working, lighting, which, losing some light soon. The selfie stick. Oh, there's one on the contraption that I had before I got the selfie stick when I first started. You can go check that one out too. I can't remember what they're titled or if they even have titles, but I think the first three that I made, there was no thumbnails, no titles, no nothing. I don't think. Anyhow, so I wanted to get, and still am, get comfortable with just sitting, recording, talking, making sure it's volume, light, etc. But I want to let you guys know that yes, very shortly. I feel like I'm getting there. Very shortly, I want to take you guys along. For example, I've mentioned this a gazillion times, I'm sure, a semi-retired baker. And the reason I say semi-retired is because even though I may be semi-retired, I still, I'm a foodie, passionate foodie, love food, love baking, love cooking. And I will still, get the urge to do like a pop-up farmer's market stall or something. Or, I just love sharing my baked goods with people. That's one of the things that I learned from, I don't want to say learned, but maybe it's inherent in me as an Indian person. My mom, when I was growing up, I remember, and we weren't like rich or anything, but whenever we cooked something, well, her, or she baked something, it was just this habitual thing that she did. And, we would go with her, we were little people, little children at that time, like next door or to the neighbors or whatever. And, you make a plate and you take it with the food or whatever you've prepared, the baked goods or whatever. And, that is something that probably, I don't know if it's just inherent in me, part of the Indian culture thing. There is a thing about Indian people, when we have guests and stuff too, it's like, bring out the food, eat, that kind of thing. But by nature, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it's an Indian thing or if it's, from seeing my mother as a child do it, whatever. But I absolutely love sharing my food with people. And I will do it just very randomly out of the blue, especially since I enjoy, cooking and baking so much. And it's just me and my hun now, my two kids are grown. That it's not only is it wonderful to be able to share your treats and goodies with other people, and it makes them happy, but I'm also able to um, cook and bake on a bigger scale, and then share it out, because just for my husband and I, how much are we going to eat? As far as, if I make, for example, a 13 by 9, sheet cake or something, what we're going to eat, like maybe a square or two, in 2 to 3 days, a couple of squares, and then that's it. The cake is going to probably end up, or we might eat too much when we shouldn't. Yeah, that happens too. So anyhow, that's something I love to do. And why did I bring that up? I want that up. Oh, this happens a lot too, and I've said this on probably each of my videos so far, though they haven't been that many yet because I just started. But yes, we are in menopause, so the brain fog thing is very real. I'm sure there are many ladies out there who can understand that, and I am not in the least bit afraid or embarrassed to say it, because it's something very real that happens to us women. And before it happened to me, I thought it was something that, was exaggerated. I'm like, oh, like, how can people just suddenly go into, like a brain fog situation? But yeah, you guys will see it a lot of my videos. I will totally forget what I was saying. And so the brain fog thing is very, very real. Anyhow, whatever it was that I was saying, it was something to do with, oh yes. So I am going to, future videos. I do not have plans on just sitting and doing this all the time. So Journeys, me and my hun, that's the name of our channel, literally means, our journeys, and we are going to pretty much bring you guys along, kind of on a, weekly, I guess, or what's going on in our lives, so on and so forth. And so one of those things is baking. And so, there will be videos that I will be making, and I'm super excited to do those, actually, where I will be cooking or baking something in the kitchen. And yeah, I mean, you guys can come along with me, and maybe I can share a recipe of, with you guys as well, and so on and so forth. So just wanted to throw that out there, that's coming soon. In the meantime, 37 minutes and 20. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. In conclusion, me and my hun, we pulled the trigger. We are officially invested in the market. And yeah. Okay, so until the next one, everyone, please take care of your health. Take care of each other. Try to be kind to at least one person each day, even if it's complete stranger on the street. It's hard sometimes. We all are going through our own things in life, and most of the time we probably feel like we need someone to care or be kind to us. But there is always someone out there that is in need of kindness more than us. So yeah, whatever, little, medium, big, large, extra large amount of kindness you can spare, to at least one, two people, in your lives or outside of your lives, or a complete stranger, or someone you come across in your day-to-day comings and goings, please. It really does make a difference. And people need that. We all need that. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So take care of your health. Show kindness. Love you guys. And I will be back probably. Today's what? Today's Thursday. I might do another one tomorrow. And I think I'm going to do, I did one, I think the last one I did was, my superheroes, I called it. And I had mentioned 3 of my favorite so far. Well, I mean, there's more, but I can't do all of them in one video. So I had started, and I did 3 of them in I call it my superheroes video that I did a few days ago. And so I think I'm going to do another one of those probably either tomorrow or Saturday. The one I did a couple of days back, my superheroes, was related to content creators that are older and have inspired me. One of them is Mike, Old Mike, I call him, and his channel is called Old Me Living Better. I hope I got that right. I don't have the notes today with me. I did have them when I made that video. And, you know, he is 81 years old, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, if he can do it, come on. You can do it, as he says. And he has a very famous saying. He says, if you ain't dead, you ain't done. And that is, oh my gosh, need I even say more? Right. And so, you know, these people are just so inspirational. And, you know, to me, I'm sure to a lot of you guys who know of these channels and have watched them. Then there is, I had mentioned Rob the Maritimer. He's based out of Canada. And again, just a very an older gentleman, very organic, down to earth, just talking, being himself, being very natural. Love that. And then Raina, she's living. Her channel is called Small Retired Life, and she is very cool, very classy, very graceful. You know, I love her. And so she has, you know, she's sharing her journey again, just talking natural. Her day-to-day life in retirement, Small Retirement Life is her channel. Okay, so go check those guys out. They're awesome. Oops. There you go. All right. So I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Love you guys. And oh yeah, the next video, I'm gonna do my probably 3 or 4 travel people. So like slow travel people, go travel, retire travel, whatever you want to call it, people that have inspired me in my hunt. Moving forward, when we do our, you know, slow traveling, we have learned so much from these folks. And so I shall be sharing. Again, it'll probably be another superheroes titled video. So that one's coming up next, unless something interesting happens between now and then. And then it could be that. Who knows? You know, life is one day at a time, one moment at a time. And we will be sharing our journeys with you. So take care and have a blessed day. Bye. Okay. So I mentioned a golf course, and I am right now inside. Well, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm not sure if the camera. I mean, I figure if you guys can see me this way, then if I turn it, you'll be able to see. Okay. So we are in beautiful Henderson, Nevada. This is the apartment complex that we live in. And over there is the golf course I'm talking about. The geeseys are, sometimes they will be just right there in that little green area of grass, all of them pecking away. It's so adorable. They probably are a little bit further down today. There is a hot tub down there and a pool. Of course, the water is not very warm anymore because we're into autumn. And yes, it is still, you know, the just because we're in Nevada doesn't mean that the pool is nice and warm during these months. When we have like 100 and in here is a little bit bicycle. Oh, I gotta make a video about the bicycle thing. I do not know how to ride a bicycle, by the way, and oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a video on that. You know, American people, I'm an immigrant, I'm from Barbados originally, but you guys all know how to swim, ride bikes, and roller skate, and ski, and do all these amazing, cool things. And I do not even know how to ride a bicycle, and that is on my bucket list of things to learn to do. So there is a bicycle. We have had it for quite a while. But yeah, I definitely gotta make a video on that. So anyhow, that is the golf course over there where the geese usually go. And I'm not seeing the pigeons today either, but they're sometimes around. All right. So on that note, take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh God. Bye. Take care.